Yes, another round.
Interesting.
She seems very toxic to me, and like I said, yes, very controlling, and that's how Daniel has described her to me because
Yeah.
I've asked about her.
Yeah.
Jack, it's time to go to bed, baby. No, it's time to go to bed, baby. That 3-hour late nap was not
Does she have a kid named Jack too?
a great idea. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, yeah. So if there's not anything else, I'm going to try to get this little creature to go to bed. But yeah, I kind of hope that I helped squash some.
You know, Logan, I want to thank you again so much for trusting this channel. I understand that you haven't ever spoken out. You have not spoken to the media.
I won't speak to
And
the
again-
media. I've been contacted daily.
Well, again, I just want to thank you so much. I really, really appreciate and the trust that you have in me, in the channel, in our mods, and you are very welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Like I said,
Okay. Put a 1 if you want to listen to that again, and put a 2 if you don't want to listen to that again. She did say Jack, yeah. She did say Jack, yes. I want to hear that again. What is wrong with my people right now? They're all late. Kelsey, to the office, please. You're being paged. Kelsey, to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a late slip for Kelsey. Jack is Logan's son. So she has a son named Jack too. Thank you, Rainbow. Yeah, okay.
All right.
No, go ahead.
Did mom ever hey, I just find it so odd. You would think, did any of them ever make the statement that they wanted to look for the children, or did she make a fuss saying I don't want to leave until I find my kids?
No.
Or... Really?
no. So that's what I stated as
So she allegedly never made a fuss that she didn't want to leave until her kids were found. And if that is true, why would the only way, in my opinion, that you don't want, you don't mind if you leave or not, is where the kids are. That's what she alleges.
as well, because when I got there, I said, do you want me to stay with the baby? You can go look. She goes, I'm going to stay with the baby. Okay, said whatever. So I went looking.
She said, do you want me to stay with the baby, meaning Meadow, so you can go look for Jack and Lily? And she says, no. And that was one of my questions. When Daniel left for 2 hours, IT Soldier Girl, did Malaya go? Who was the one that called 911? In my opinion, well, Daniel says in one interview, by the time I got back, the RCMP was already there. In another interview, he says, I got back and we waited for the RCMP to get there. That is what he said 2 different times. If the RCMP, they call it 10 o'clock. Around 10 o'clock, 9:50, 10 o'clock, right? That's nearly 2 hours later. Did Malaya decide to pick up the phone and call? Or was it Daniel out there that decided to call 911?
That's nearly 2
Or
hours later. Did Malaya
or decide to pick up the phone? Did
and
Malaya call Daniel or Daniel call Malaya
or
and they line it up
was it
a certain
Daniel
way?
out there
Hey,
that
I'm done. Or hey,
decided to
I've
call
I've been
911?
looking for the kids for
Nearly
2
2
hours. We
Did
probably
Malaya
should call
or decide to pick up the phone?
911 now.
Did Malaya call Daniel or Daniel call Malaya and they line it up?
I can honestly say that personally I am great
Hey, I'm done.
during an emergency.
Or,
It is
hey,
later that it
I've
sets in.
I've been looking for the
See, I'm not great with an emergency. I am not great at all. I fall the fuck apart.
911.
But
Did Malaya
you
call
get it done,
Daniel or Daniel call Malaya
right?
and they line it up?
I
I
can
can
honestly say
that
from
personally,
Thursday
I am
afternoon to
great
Friday morning, what
during
cars
an
came in
emergency. It
and
is
went
later
before
that it sets
that
in. I've been
report.
looking for the-
Yes,
See,
it is
I'm not
it's a
great.
terrifying long time,
I am
Pink.
not great at all.
Terrifyingly
I fall the fuck
long
apart.
time. Really
But
is.
you get it done.
Right. I don't know why you're going up and down. I cannot get over it.
Cars came in.
I cannot get over it.
That report.
You would
Yes.
go
It is
looking
a-
up
it's a
dirt roads and
terrifying long
culverts
time,
and
Pink.
wade through ponds
Terrifyingly long
when you could
time.
be having the
Really
police
is.
there with their drones and their expertise.
Right.
2 hours?
I don't know why
pass?
you're going up and down. I cannot get over
No,
it.
they wouldn't. Pink, they wouldn't.
Cannot get over it.
Guys, do me a favor, hit
You
that
would
thumbs
go
up button. We'd
looking
greatly
at
appreciate
dirt
it. Consider
roads and
becoming a
culverts
member
and
of
wade through
the
ponds.
Pearl family. We would love for you to join.
When you could be having the police there with their
So
drones
that
and
was
their
the next thing.
expertise.
Was when the baby was, when she was told that the baby
Pass?
had to leave the residence.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
She's
Guys, do me a
exactly
favor,
told
hit
she
that
did not
thumbs
have
up
to leave the
button. We'd
residence.
greatly
They just
appreciate it. Consider Okay. becoming a member of
the
Now,
Pearl family.
that
We would
is
love for
how
you
it
to
works
join.
here in the United States, right? You don't have to
Um,
leave the
So
residence.
that was the next thing. Was when the baby was, when she was told that the baby
But
had to leave the residence.
well, it's usually
She's
you can't,
exactly told
you know,
she
you
did
don't
not
have to leave the residence.
just-
But if
Okay.
you don't leave the residence,
Now,
the child
that
can't
is how
stay.
it works here in the United States, right?
it's not
You don't
usually
have to leave
that
the
way.
residence.
So,
was the next thing. Was when the baby
I'm
was,
not-
when she was told that the baby
And until they know,
Well, it's usually
like, what is going on
you
in
can't, you know,
that
you don't have to leave
home,
the residence, but if you don't leave the residence,
you know, the child could be at risk, right?
Here in the United States, right?
It's not
You don't
usually
have to leave
that
the
way.
residence.
She was supposedly
So,
there, Mohawk.
I'm not.
Brenda,
Until
thank you
they
so much for
know
7 months, my dear. Has anyone talked about
what is
Daniel's
going
brother?
on
Where
in
was
that
he?
you don't have to leave
Home.
the residence,
I don't know.
the residence.
I don't
The
know.
child
He's
could be at
supposedly getting a
risk, right?
divorce right now.
just wanted the baby off the residence,
supposedly there
from away from the residence. That's like this whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of.
Thank you so much
So,
for 7
the
months,
baby was
my
gonna
dear.
come to my
Has
house.
anyone
So she
talked
was-
about Daniel's brother?
She's never
Where
been apart
was
from the baby. Never. Like she's
I don't know.
meadow.
I don't know. He's supposedly
So-
getting a divorce.
I said you're more than welcome to come too. If just
What
wanted
is
the
she
baby
saying
off the
right
residence,
there?
from away from the residence.
What is she saying
That's
right
like,
there?
This whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of.
Meadow?
So, the
What is
baby
she
was gonna
saying?
come to my house. So she's never been apart
I don't
from the
understand what
baby.
she's saying there.
Never. Not. I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own. Like Malaya, I can take care of this kid. Like I can take care of the baby, no problem. I said you're more than welcome to
Oh,
come too.
Meadow,
First,
Meadow,
the baby,
Meadow,
it was
Meadow,
just going to be the baby, and then she decided she was going to come with me.
What is she saying right there?
So, but then something changed, and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her, and then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her
I don't
mother.
understand what she's
Okay.
Never. Not. I am
Okay.
comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own.
All right.
Malaya, I can
At
take
the
care of this
briefing,
kid. Like, I
or
can take care of the
the
baby, no problem.
whatever.
So
Oh, Meadow,
first the
Meadow,
baby,
Meadow,
it was
Meadow,
just gonna be
Meadow.
baby, and then she
Malaya
decided she was gonna come
did
with me.
leave early,
So, but then something
and
changed,
everyone was
and we
like,
were at the briefing.
"What the hell? Why
Her
is
mother
she
said something
leaving
to her,
early?"
and then I had to take everything out of my car
And the
and
way
put it in her
she's
mother.
making it sound, it was like her mother that was making
Well, I
her.
have 3 kids of my own.
All right. Apparently,
At
Daniel's
the
mother
briefing.
barked
Or
after
the
9
baby, no
a.m.
problem.
whatever.
So,
Oh,
first the
Daniel's
baby was
mother
just gonna be
barked
baby,
after 9
Malaya
a.m. and only
did
barked when he heard the kids'
early.
voices.
So, but then something
And
changed,
everyone the
and
kids
we were at
last
the
seen by
briefing.
Daniel and
Her
Malaya
mother
at
said something to her,
8:20
and then I had to take everything out of my
a.m.
car
And the
and
way
put it in her
she's
mother.
making it sound, it was like her mother that was making
Well, I
her.
have 3 kids of my own.
Thank you, Canadian Cookie. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. Baby girl. Thank you for gifting 2 pearl necklaces. Thank you so much, my love. Really do appreciate you. 1, 2, 6, 7. Let's see here. Thank you, Canadian Cookie. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. 9, 10. We're halfway there for our goal. We got 10 more. We need to make.
Mother's car. And
Thank
like
you
I
so
said,
much,
she
Mother.
had this whole plan. Like
Canadian
she was
Cookie.
gonna drive her car into my house,
Mm-hmm.
and she was gonna. And then the plan changed. Oh, I'm gonna take the car to my mother's. Like I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. Like the search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was
We're halfway there
because they left the
for
car.
our goal.
That's how much of a hurry that was. Mother's car. And like I
you so
said,
much,
she
Mother.
had
They
this whole
left
plan. Like
her
she was gonna drive her
car.
car into my house.
Mm-hmm.
And
Daniel's
she was
mother
gonna,
has
and
a
then
dog
the
and
plan
it only
changed. Oh,
barked
I'm gonna
when
take
he
the car
heard
to my
the kids'
mother's. Like I'm going
voices.
with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back
Allegedly.
for the car.
Sounds to me like she was
the
more
search and rescue had her
involved
car
with
towed to
Meadow and
wherever she
didn't
was
have a crap.
because they left the car. That's how
So
much of a hurry that was.
that
And
is,
like I said, she
I
had this
believe
whole
this
plan,
girl.
like, she was gonna
I
drive her
do.
car into my house.
The way she talks and all this, and I
And
just
she
thought
was
of
gonna-
something.
and then the plan changed.
The
Oh, I'm gonna
text
take the car to my
messages
mother's, like, I'm going with my mother.
from
Well, she didn't even come back for the car.
allegedly from
Like,
Daniel
the
that we were
search and
talking
rescue
about
had her car
yesterday.
towed to wherever she was
He said
because they left the car.
allegedly
That's how much of a
that
hurry that was.
he would only, or that Malaya would only pay attention to Meadow
And I just thought of something.
and kind of forgot about Lily and Jack. And that's what it makes me think here, because he's like, she's like Meadow, 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 and then she says this right here, allegedly, that he would.
And we were at the
only- or that
briefing. Her mother
Malaya
said
would
something to
only
her,
pay
and then I
attention
had to take everything out of my
to
car and put it in her
Meadow.
mother's car.
So
And like I
it's-
said, she had this whole plan. Like she was gonna drive her car into my house,
Mm-hmm.
and she was gonna, and then the plan changed. Oh, I'm gonna take the car to my mother's. Like I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. Like the search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was because they left the car. And that's how much of a hurry that was in her mother's car
Oh,
to leave. And like I said, she had this whole plan. Malaya like, stayed at she was gonna the drive her they car stayed at into the my residence house.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night. she was
And
gonna
just
and
out of
then the plan
curiosity,
changed. Oh, I'm gonna take the car to my
because I
mother's,
think
like,
you
I'm going
said
with my
something and I
mother.
wasn't
Well,
quite
she didn't
sure
even come
I
back for the
understood.
car. Like,
When did
search and rescue
Malaya's
had her car
mother
towed to wherever she
arrive
was.
at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there to leave on Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay. And did Malaya's mother stay overnight there? I think you said.
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back. When I came back, so she could have stayed the night. I am, like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. She was there before I got
Daniel
there on Friday when they went
allegedly
missing. I'm not
does
sure the
not
exact time. We all tried to figure that out.
understand why
And did Malaya's mother stay overnight
she's doing
there?
this.
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I got back.
But they're
When I came
they're
back,
not saying
so
something.
she could have
Daniel's
stayed the
not
night. I
saying
am, like I
something,
said, I am
and
unsure because I
Malaya's
didn't stay at the
not
residence
saying
that night. I went
something.
home.
They have their reasons.
On Friday when they went
Allegedly,
and Daniel did
does
pass the
not
lie detector test.
understand
So what was-
now again?
Did Malaya's mother
She
stay
claims
overnight
Daniel
there?
passed the
I
lie
am
detector
unsure,
test. This
but
is
she was
allegedly
there in the
Daniel's
morning when I
cousin.
got back.
But just because she says that,
She could have
I don't
stayed the
believe
night.
it.
I am, like I said, I am
And
unsure.
I don't
didn't
believe
stay
it
at the
not
residence
saying
that night. I
something.
went home.
until the
They have their
RCMP comes
reasons.
out and says it, which they're
And
not
Daniel
going
did
to,
pass the lie detector test.
I don't believe it.
So what was
Now again, She claims I don't believe it the way he even said it. This is allegedly.
What was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
Says that, I don't believe it.
From what I understand,
I don't believe
Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother.
And says it, which they're not.
So Daniel
I don't believe it.
Poison is from what I understand, poison.
Again,
Like
I don't believe
he
it the way
always
he
said,
said.
and he said this in his interviews.
What was Daniel's
Over and over.
relationship like with Malaya's
What?
mom?
From what I understand, Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
Okay, what-
Malaya's
So what
relationship
was-
with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her
What was
mother.
Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
So, from what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. And he said this in his interviews. So, Daniel
What?
Poison is from what I understand, poison. Daniel did pass the lie detector.
Oh, okay, with the
Like he always said, and he said this in his interviews
What was Daniel's
over and over
relationship
again
like
is
with Malaya's mom?
every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled her back. Malaya's
Now,
relationship with her mother was
that
never great.
is
She
really
didn't wanna live
sad
with her
if that
mother.
is the truth.
And he said this in his interviews.
Malaya
So,
has made
Daniel Poison
comments
is from what
about
I
her
understand,
mother.
Poison. Daniel did pass the lie detector.
Poison
Like he
being
always said, and he said
uh,
this in his interviews
poison
over and over again. is
meaning
every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled
Malaya's
her back.
mom and Malaya and her mom's relationship are
really sad
poison,
if
if that is the truth.
Um,
But sometimes
Malaya
has made, you know, your mother-in-law might not like you for whatever reason. And it can be like a grift, you know, between the two of you. Poison
over and over again.
means
So
so
every time Malaya got ahead in life,
Malaya's
I don't
know.
know.
Malaya and her I don't know. But I will say dysfunction, yes, Remy. But I will say that Malaya has said your mom is not a good person. Might not like you for whatever reason. Your mother-in-law and it can be like a for whatever reason. Now she could have been mad at the time. I don't know. You know,
So.
between the two.
we'll just go with that.
So I don't know.
I just find it strange how the grandmother
I will say dysfunction.
would
But
convince her
I will
daughter
say that
to
Malaya
leave
has said-
To leave the
Instead-
residence?
instead of staying with her.
Your mom is not a good person. And that's right. Why is mom,
We'll just go with that.
Malaya's mom,
We'll just go
allegedly
with that.
I
saying
just find it
you need to
strange
get out
how
of
the
there
grandmother. I just find it
you know,
strange how the grandmother
and come with me?
daughter to leave, convince her daughter instead of staying with
Why
her.
is she saying that?
Instead of staying with
And
her.
that's right. And that's because, like I've always said, Malaya said she was laying in bed that morning, drifting in and out of sleep. Jack is doing, not Jack, Daniel's doing the same thing.
Convince her daughter
Jack is supposedly in the kitchen.
instead of staying with her.
Lily is supposedly darting her head in and out of the bedroom or going in inside of the bedroom. It depends on what story you're following of theirs. And the family is fighting. And like I said, if they're both saying primarily the same story, right? They're both saying the main thing is they're both saying when the kids go missing, they're in bed together. And like I said, and if Malaya's mom is blaming Daniel and the family, then either Malaya has said something to her mother that we don't know about, or Malaya's mother doesn't believe Malaya or Daniel. Either Malaya has said